Hello, welcome. My name is Kwabena Darko. Welcome. Please subscribe to this channel, share the channel with your friends and with your family. Today, I want to share with you thought reform, or what they call mind control or brain washing. All of us, one way or the other, have had our minds programmed in a certain way. You know, from the family, from the churches that we go to, from the religions that we practice, the community that we grew up in, the schools that we go to. All these things, by the time that we are, let's say, 20 years, a lot of information, a lot of programming would have been done on our mind. Now, it's not bad when your mind is being trained, but it becomes a bit more dangerous when your mind is programmed with fear and with things that eventually set you on a path that you have no confidence in yourself, where you are not able to analyze issues for yourself, and where your ability to think, your faculty, is technically disabled, as they say it, where whatever that you have, people have come to a stage in their lives that they virtually don't use the mind that God gave them. Therefore, everything that you tell them, information that you give them, they have to ask somebody for them to validate it for them. You know, we in Africa, this is a major threat, especially those of us who are very much into all the other things that. So, mind control is pervasive, is prevalent in our communities, especially as Africans. And if your mind is under spare, if somebody else is in charge of the mind. For instance, there are certain organizations that you join. Let's say you join for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. By the time that you have been with that organization for, let's say, 6 months or 1 year, your accent is changed, your dressing is changed, maybe even your hairstyle is changed. Your time is consumed on only that organization. You only read materials from that organization. You virtually lose your sense of identity. Now, the people who knew you before, now they see you, they can't even recall you. You hardly will agree with anything with them. If they question you get angry. Your life is driven with fear. Now, if you are in that kind of situation, you have been systematically mind controlled, and a lot of the times they use fear. A lot of the times they are the ones who direct where our money should go, where we should spend our time. And so when you are in any association, when you are in any organization, when you are in any church, when you are in any religious institution, when you are in any group where you lose your sense of being, your sense of identity, your sense of uniqueness, your ability to think independently for yourself, it means that you've been brainwashed. And a lot of the times this kind of brainwashing is eventually is able to position a person in a state where the person has no control over their lives. And most people who find themselves in this state, most of it do not even know the kind of programming, the kind of machination that they have been under. And when somebody questions them, they get angry, they get disturbed, they think that you are trying to attack them, or trying to attack their religion. But you will not be successful in this life until you have a lot of these things yourself. You are thinking for yourself. Where there is any situation, or wherever there is a situation, you are the one to ask questions and get the right data to decide for yourself. The human being, human life, in any country, in any community, in any business, in any group, the success of that group is directly linked to the ability or the average thinking capacity of the group, being able to assess situation, gathering data, and making critical decisions on the situation based on the data gathered. A lot of the times, this group of people will do far more better than the ones who are trying to wait for somebody else to decide for them. A lot of their decisions are not based on data. A lot of their decisions are just based on one person that they so much believe that when you talk about that one person in any particular way, they get offended, they get destabilized, because all their hope, all their belief is in that thing, and they dare not question anybody who they don't question anything that person or that entity that they look up to brings out. So and much of it is just religion. And in Africa, It's very much, so that's why you can see people who have gone to school, high level education, but the brain has been under spare, under control, and it's systematically done. It is systematically done. So when you join any group, and they try to teach you things that you didn't know before, it's good. Anybody at all can teach you something. But the essence of anybody teaching you anything is for you to become a bit more confident, far more confident, start to believe in your own abilities, start to make decisions for yourself, start to plan your own life, start to structure your own finances. Anybody who is ever teaching you to become great is teaching you so that you can look within to be more confident and to take charge of your own talent, your own opportunities, the things that are close to you, the things that you want to do, the dreams, for you to dream big and know that you are responsible for the life that you are going to live. If they teach you otherwise, if they teach you that they have power to make you, if they teach you that they have to make decisions for you, if they teach you that you are nothing and therefore they have the supernatural power to call things in your life. If, let's say, you are sick, you're poor, you're sick, and they tell you that they have power to just pray for you and everything will be all right, that is somebody who has put you under a certain spare, and that is what they call mind control. And it's a practice they use in most organizations. Political organizations are using them, religious organizations are using them, a lot of court systems are using them, and there is no problem if that is what you want. But if you're not aware that this is what they have done to you, then there's a problem. And you see a lot of groups like that, and nobody else can talk to them. Nobody else can talk to them, and it becomes very difficult for us to even get through, because the more you have a lot of the minds of your people under such things, the more difficult the country is going to find trying to develop, because the very minds that we have to develop them, these minds have been captured by the the powers that be. So when they make you to believe that you don't have any solution to your own problems and they have to have the solution for you, when they make you to believe that your money is for them and your time you have to spend for them, they tell you where to go and where not to go, they tell you who to marry and who not to marry, when they have to tell you what to dress, what to wear. A grown-up with children, they have to tell you what to do to your hair, and they get offended and they shout at you, they insult you, they abuse you. That is mind control, and they get really sometimes when you cannot even disagree with them. When you're in any group, any association, any environment where you cannot even tell them what you think, you've been brainwashed, and it also means that you're going to suffer with your life. You're going to suffer with your life, because in this life, the mind that you have, the quality of formation that you have, they are directly responsible for what you're becoming. They are directly responsible for what you're becoming. In as much as it is very delicate subject, we still have to tell our people that you must think for yourself. You must look at issues yourself. You must handle a lot of things yourself. You believe in God? No problem. Believe in God, trust in God, have faith in God, but it must be based on truth, it must be based on kindness, it must be based on justice, it must be based on love, it must be based on wisdom, on understanding, it must be based on things that will make you to do well. It should not be that you are put in a situation where you have no confidence in yourself, you have no belief in yourself, you are totally saddled in constant fear, and you know that even sometimes the people that we so much defend, and we feel offended when somebody talks about the evils that these people do to you, and those people may not necessarily even have direct contact with you, but you are still bent on defending them, because that is what they have done to you. So before 6 months, before 1 year, you were very much thoughtful, you're very much kind, you had people who love you and you love them back. Now this time that you have joined this group, you have no time for anybody, you are virtually not interested in even your own family. The people don't love you, they control you, they shout at you, they take your money. When you are in trouble, they don't show up, and yet you so much believe whatever that they are doing to you. If you are in that kind of category, let's say you have a boyfriend who does that to you, or let's say you have maybe even you are in a workplace where they just shout at you, they don't have any respect for you, they don't treat you with dignity, nothing. You are just constantly being abused and being manhandled and being it's aggressive persuasion that you virtually don't have time to think for yourself. That kind of environment would mean that you've been brainwashed. And I dare say that a lot of our people, indirectly, one way or the other, under this kind of attack, under this kind of manipulation. And we really have to think about that. And any time that somebody else wants to help us to think straight for ourselves and be more kind, and be kind and be straightforward and be more forgiving and think of others and look for fast to handle situations, we get offended. Because now, I remember there was a time that, and the people who are there, by the time that you are there for 2 months, the way you sing is changed, the way you dance is changed, your dressings are changed, your accent, you have even changed your accent, and you change your skin, you change your hair, you're virtually gone. And they call it initiation. When you are in any situation like that, you've been brainwashed. And usually they don't really care about you even. When you're in trouble, it's all on you. They only praise you, they only part you, they only praise you and give you some kind of praise when you are doing what the standards that they set for you. Anytime that you fall short of those, they come back at you. They come aggressively to insult you, to shout at you. In front of me, I saw a situation like that where the guy was just told, kneel down, just because he had joined this organization all by himself. He went there himself, thinking that he will receive love, he will receive kindness, acceptance. But here's a case, a grown-up person, and this little girl was telling him to kneel down just because he didn't come on time. That if you're in such an environment where somebody is trying to tell you, cover your hair, do this, you see, they can do it to a extent where they start to change your belief system, they change your values, they change the way you look at even the world itself.